stream.
Can
what's
we
every okay? What's
do a
okay?
I want to do a taste test. The Baconator, and what's the Jack in the Box one that has the bacon crumbles mixed in?
I mean,
with mayo?
you should really compare it to the sourdough jack because that is the premium bacon sandwich of choice.
Yeah.
At the establishment.
If you get bacon on your sourdough jack, you're doing it right at Jack in the Box. I don't know.
That is a great
I don't know what the bacon-filled burger at Jack in the Box is, but I'm intrigued. I don't think I've ever had that one. I've only ever had the one where I put a $2 taco on.
Is it the bacon ultimate cheeseburger?
Yeah, that one.
There, yeah.
Hey, Steve, I got a new bestiary. I don't know if you can see it well from there.
I can.
It's blowing out really bad. Okay,
yeah,
there we
it
go.
seems to be glimmering.
It's that good. It's glowing.
Your source light is very strong. Hold on.
It's a reading lamp.
Let me go full.
That's really cool looking.
It's called Creatures from Fairy Tale and Myth.
Let me go full maximum harshness, full max dark. There we go. Full
Hey,
harsh
does anyone
light,
have
full dark
a
light.
good recommendation for a bestiary for like an almost 6-year-old?
I can find one for you if we're
There's
not
a
in
little-
stream.
Yeah, there's an alphabet book that's pretty cute.
Like we
There's
have
also-
the old the British like books of flower fairies and books of tree fairies series. And she loves those. It'd be cool to have one that explains like this is a wyvern.
If
this is
you
a
can
drake.
go back to 2006 in a hot topic, there will be a number of witch fairy books that you can find.
Well,
Unfortunately, they're all posters.
Those are all the sexy
also-
fairy books.
There is also
Are there-
books that they made for new players that specifically kind of go into creatures. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Give me a moment. I'll see if I can find it.
I thought when you said new people, you were referring to children.
No,
Hey,
no.
new
Steve, let me
six-year-olds.
know. Cue me if
I
there are
meant
any
new- I meant, like, new
snakes
players.
because I have a
Yeah.
maraca, so I can.
If there are any snakes. Well, there weren't,
I-
but now it's going to be like 80% snake-based.
Perfect.
That's how you play good D&D right there. People bring equipment, and you're like, okay, I'm rewriting the whole episode on the
I
fly.
prepped anti-snake spells. It's all a plot.
Yeah, let's see if I've got all of my appropriate notes up here. For those joining us, which I think is nobody at this point, so I don't care. But for those joining us, I can always edit the beginning of the episode out on YouTube. Welcome to Dying of Exposure Through the Mill, a live play D&D series from Dying of Exposure. This is a homebrew 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons Western Plains Desert Fantasy RPG run by yours truly, the Game Mommy, Steve. I am lacking Baconators, but what I lack in Baconators, I make up for in wonderful friends and players, and I will introduce the Posse for. I gotta turn this light on. This is freaking me out. It's so music video dark.
Welcome to the dungeon.
Yeah, welcome to the horror cast. My name is Steve, and today we're gonna be talking about Hellraiser 17.
Big public
Nice.
access energy.
So let's introduce the Posse. We are going to start off with our bugbear over here.
Hi, I'm my name's Greg. I play Skitaki Skato, the Bugbear Ranger.
And directly down from the bugbear, we have our tiefling.
Hi, I'm Camille, and I play Patience Pratt, the wild magic sorcerer.
And then with the gentle glow of the sun beneath him, we have our half-orc.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and I play Barry, the half-orc barbarian.
Up in the for people watching, the top right corner, we have our dragonborn.
That's right, I'm Dandy. I play a Dragonborn Paladin.
Beneath Dandy, we have our tabaxi.
I'm Selene, and I play Velvet Star, who is a Tabaxi rogue archer.
And that's everyone important. We don't need to introduce the last.
What's up, everybody? My name's Josh, and I'm Trapper, a giant coyote man druid, and I'm going to be shotgunning Baconator Pringles tonight. Wendy's. Buzz market.
Wendy's, Baconator, hashtag Black Lives Matter.
When are we getting
Let's
that
do
endorsement
this.
money?
Well,
Hashtag arrest Anna Taylor's murderers.
Ooh, this is off to a good
Is
start.
this Through the Mill brought to you by Pringles Baconator?
Pringles Baconator. I don't know. I'll reach out to him. I'll be like, hey, at the start of the stream, we had one viewer. I posted about it 15 minutes before it started. Why
Listen,
not?
by the end of the week, we'll have like a solid 11.
11. It depends.
11 views on the YouTube.
You know what? 11 views on the YouTube is better than like 80% of YouTube, and that makes my heart super sad that there are people that are literally uploading to nobody. I'm at least uploading to people that feel guilted and responsible for watching that. None
There's
of
a
which are
subreddit
my
I have
partner.
called Deep YouTube, and it's all about videos that have like no views whatsoever.
Oh, it's so you can find some gems though. There are people dying,
There is.
dying making good content for nobody. It's like all of my personal passions are what can I pursue that has the least chance of anyone caring about my effort. So I'm gonna become a two-dimensional
Police abolition. Speaking from experience.
I'm gonna do a two-dimensional physical artist. No Photoshop, just physical art. Just physical paintings, and I'm sure no one will care for that. But we'll do a quick recap of last episode. We had a split combat that I'm grateful to not have to run tonight.
That's what you think.
Well, if we run it, it's fucking theater of the mind. I've prepped nothing. We have a split combat. The half the posse went to the cathedral, Grace Hope Cathedral, to deal with or to discover if there was potential celestial magic means of dealing with things based off of the recommendation of Bobby the Familiar. And the other half of the group was at the Caspi Farms. It turned out that both had been infiltrated by deceptive Kenkus. There was combat in both sides, and both managed to murder a bunch of Kenkus and then capture some. To synopsize the most important part about the story, though, is that we learned that both the Kenkus that had been there had been infiltrating the church for about a week after they arrived as a mercenary group hired by the Magister to deal with the upcoming double full moon problem. Summoning of some dark evil entity monster worm. And
Classic Kenku.
We also found out that our classic Kenku, we found out as well that our buddy, Mr. Fredrickson Goodhammer Hammergood, was not only not gone from the physical plane, but was still in the neighborhood, bound in a circle of ceiling in an iron cage in the basement of the Caspi farm. And I believe that's about where we left off with that moment. The group still split up between Caspi and church. And so, you know what? We're just
at church.
Yeah, just the church. It's a cathedral. It's a Grace Hope Cathedral. It's
just bloody old church.
It's just a bloody, murdered up church. It's fine. So we're gonna go to the cathedral first, where Trapper, Patience, and Skitaki are. They just recently got a code from a notebook written in Kenku that they couldn't read, as well as a letter talking about being assigned there to kind of infiltrate the church. That also kind of discusses. That's what revealed the details about the Magister hiring them for the same issue that our posse has discovered and kind of stepped into. And so, yeah, you've got your captured Kenku right there, still up, and you've got your church that people are probably reaching out to local law to come to, what with the violence and the shooting of the rifle and whatnot. So what do you do from there? It's a sort of conclusionary on information after searching the room, but what do you do from there? Do you go back to the university? Do you torch the church? That's a common D&D group thing to do.
Could torch the church.
Like, Patient's life isn't difficult enough to also be a church burner. No, thank you. So should we take this guy and go? Like, literally anywhere else but here?
I think that's a good. I think that's probably a good idea. I cast detect magic while we're in here.
Okay. What did you want to say, Greg?
I just said agreed.
Okay. Detect magic while you're in the Cathedral of Grace Hope Church. Let me remind myself of specifically what detect magic reveals, because this is very narrow. What it could find or what it couldn't find, which sort of reveals that there's something here. But for the duration, if you sense magic in this way, within 30 feet of you, if you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura and any visible object. That means spell can penetrate most spires, but it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or all that lead in Water's Wealth that they build everything out of, which is why everyone's so violent and sexual. Odai is the new Rome. And then 3 feet of wood or dirt. All right.
It sounds like a reggae song.
I'm not going to do a reggae voice. I'm not feeling like that.
Yeah, please
tonight.
do not.
You're welcome.
Go with that feeling.
It's a strong choice from my point. I'm not Tom Hanks's youngest son.
Common stuff.
Yeah, you detect magic, you detect nothing. There is nothing within 30 feet that is highlighting or glowing or magical. Like, there's the wisps of their former disguises, but you know what that is. That's just sort of a remnant that a magic spell was in action here, and you can. I'm
definitely sort of pacing, trying to get within 30 feet of as much of the room as I can without, stirring up.
Are you pacing in the in the
anything.
office room or in the greater cathedral in general?
I'm near the office. I would sweep it first and then look in the rest of the building.
That's fine. It's got concentration of 10 minutes. Quick question. Throwing my dice directly where my source slide is was a bad choice, but whatever. I don't need to see to run this.
I should roll, huh?
Well, quick question. I'm gonna have you roll perception while you're walking around. You're not sensing any magic. I can tell you that.
Okay.
I think the only thing you might pick up is my necklace and
12.
my focus.
12.
Your
With the
focus?
12, you don't really see anything. The focus that
Arcane
Patience,
focus.
Yeah, the arcane focus Patience needs to cast magic.
How I
really.
do my magics.
How you
Do they have
you
any
don't
other
need
things
it.
on them that are? Do they have any?
Is that a physical
other
object?
items?
The
glow?
Kenku themselves don't have anything that's on them that's magic. There's nothing. There is a little bit of holy magic in what would it be called? We'll just call it the Holy Bowl because I don't have a good term for it right now. The Holy Bowl, which is like holy water from Catholic churches that's blessed. It's a brass bowl. It's kind of near the pedestal where the proselytizers, the proclaimers, would speak their sermons and stuff.
What kind of magic?
It's roll Arcana to see if you can identify what it specifically does.
Well, no, detect magic lets me learn its school of magic specifically.
It's school, whatever the. Hold on, let me.
Like, is it illusory magic?
Yeah, school of magic list. I need to know the term for this.
Compulsory? Yeah, I don't know I'm not sure what the word bank is for that.
Yeah, neither am I. I never. It
Just
is
pure necromancy.
Yeah, it turns everyone into vampires.
Necrotic.
And zombies. You know what? We're gonna go with whatever magic cure wounds would be.
Okay.
It's holy. It's positive magic. I don't have the specific term for it. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I don't have the specific term,
that's
but yeah,
fine.
it's holy, it's holy magic, but you don't know more than that as far as what the water itself might do.
Cure wounds is evocation.
Evocation, yeah. So it's evocation magic, but it is not cure wounds. Just to be clear.
Okay.
I don't want you thinking.
Can I investigate and see if I can find anything that is like concealed or seems like it might be a source of power or a source of
I will allow
power
you to roll
over
an investigation check.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
Fuck. That was a 4.
There is literally
Plus
nothing in here. It's not
4.
gonna matter.
8.
Patience is like looking very uncomfortable and just kind of like looking at the Kenku and like looking at the door and like looking at Skataki. Can we go? We can always come back. It's not like we're gonna light this place on fire.
Yeah.
No, light
All
it
right.
on fire. Okay.
No.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here.
We just should make sure that all the peasants are out. So while he's doing his detect magic thing, we've already searched the office of the church, but I want to take a specific eye to the Kenku weapons and see if any of them are nice enough to sell or rearm our party with.
Oh, just a heads up, by the way, I did add money for everyone for the previous money that had been doled out in previous episodes. So everybody got money. Everyone got, I just divided it up evenly on the party. If y'all discuss that, none of you have gotten anything super valuable where it would swing it so crazily at this point. Yeah, do an investigation check on the Kenku weapons.
And Steve, can I also message you something if you could look at that?
No, I refuse. What did you message it on, specifically?
Facebook.
Facebook? Okay, let me minimize that and open up a Facebook real quick.
I am pretty sure that the steel things that they carried and threatened us with might be weapons.
What did you roll, Greg?
Positive. I rolled a 5 in my investigation is -1, so 4.
4, yeah. These might be letter openers. They could be toothpicks. They could be a number of things that are sharp and pointy. But that's it. Josh, Trapper, I would like you to do one more thing for me. I would like you to do one more perception check.
All right. Critical fail.
All right. So that's it. That covers it.
Good things happen.
You're welcome, team.
The rest of the group doesn't know about this, but thanks, Brandon. I forgot about that when it's happening, but yeah, that's the Brandon knows what's up. Anyway, so you're gonna see me dabbing myself like I'm on a Sunday afternoon on a front porch. I'm in this garage. The AC does not reach back here, and it cooks up real good. It's the only part of our place that gets hot. But if I'm not
too
in
much
here,
church, huh, Steve?
too much religion for me. Ooh, this Catholic private school kid is really, really having some memories here. Bit of trivia for our players and our one viewer. I was raised in a Catholic private school where the father's name was Father Steve and my name was Steve, and it made all the kids think that we should be best buddies, and we weren't. Anyway, moving forward, that's all. I'll give details on about my relationship with my priest growing up. Nothing loaded there. No accusations. He didn't do anything super creepy to me. He did have a teddy bear collection, though, and I'm not trying to judge on people's things, but the optics
is something creepy that he did do, but not to you.
But the optics of a priest having a teddy bear collection in the 90s and early aughts, or 80s, 90s, and early aughts, not great optics, but nothing like that.
Could have been clown dolls. So.
Yeah.
This guy, and she like kind of points at the Kenku, is like, if he's in town and we're with him and they're not supposed to be in town, we would be in trouble, right?
Well,
yes.
Maybe it depends on how well you lie, well, or not even lie. You didn't come in with him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were trying to make tracks
should
too.
Should we like release him?
No.
Or,
yeah,
I don't know
you should
about that.
totally release me. That's a good idea.
We were
Okay.
all sent. We were all sent to the
Barry,
locations
you-
that we went to by police.
Barry's not
Here, I cast Charm Person
there.
on the Kenku.
You cast Charm Person on the Kenku. That is a
Yes.
roll from me. Charm Person. Yeah, it's a DC 14 Wisdom. Thank you, D&D Beyond, for letting me.
I forgot the Kenku was conscious.
Yeah, he is. He has enough for that. It doesn't work. He's like, and he knows. I believe people know that you cast Charm Person on them after it's done. And in my
Yeah.
mind, when it fails, and so he's like you're cute, but nah, bro. And
I
not,
think Patience gets suddenly very mad, grabs onto his arm, and says, "You're gonna turn into something that looks normal right now. We're gonna walk out of here, and you're gonna be chill as hell. Do I make myself clear?"
Okay, roll Intimidate.
Yes.
I rolled a 16.
I'll call that enough. He's already a prisoner. He sees Skitaki. So he's like,
Plus 5, 6 for Skataki.
yeah. And so, let's see what I have him roll as. Let's see how good his instinct is in disguising.
So I'm gonna lean. Hold on.
Yeah.
When she starts intimidating him, I want to lean forward and say, "You're going to be very good because you've seen me shoot." And I think Patience should get advantage on that roll.
All right, roll a second one.
Second one was a 5, so that would have been a 9. So,
All right.
unfortunately.
That's more than fine. 16 was enough to get him to do it there. So he turns into a very short for their breed. Let's go with hummingbird looking Aarakocra. And so he's still a bird person, but he's like a pretty cute bird person. Like cute, swinging toward adorable, and everything. He's got like a little like bonnet on, a little wimple, maybe like a wimple. And shout out to NADPOD for giving me the word wimple in my life. And you know, he's got like a nice.
You know all
sundress.
these bird races, Steve.
What? There's only two
That is
main.
not normal. I've been
I
playing this.
found out there was a bird called a
thing.
booby, and he just couldn't stop looking.
I don't know anything about birds, but I do know about Dungeons and Dragons bird races.
And Wimples.
Aarakocra are just a race in 5th edition, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're like the noble version of Kenku. And they're supposed to look like
Racist.
birds of prey. Yeah, totally. 100%. Wizards recently addressed that like last week.
I know, that was pretty cool.
Where they're like, yeah, no more just universal evil races. That's not great. But anyway, so yeah, he's a hummingbird version of an Aarakocra. So he's a little pot-bellied. And everything, and he's like,
Oh, that's sick.
yeah, does this work? Is this gonna work for you?
And she kind of sighs and goes, "Yes, that is perfect.
Yeah.
And so
And I
Let's go.
think we
Let's
can
go
have
to
a
the
little
university."
double insurance. You, me, and Skitaki are gonna hold hands the whole way. How's that sound?
to the Kenku, to the guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I mean, like, this is
It's like
weird, but-
non-violent restraints.
Yeah, that's fine. And so he reaches out to the two biggest members of the party, and
All
even
right.
though he's like 4'10", so he's short, but he's not like super short. Next to you,
I got real long arms.
Yeah, next to you. So it's like a little kid holding his parents' arms in between them, just
It's like the
"Yay."
IKEA monkey.
Yeah, just walking around looking cute. And where do you all head once you leave the church?
I think we should head to the university, so we can meet up with everyone else, because I don't know where else they would meet us.
So unless anyone else stops the Patience's mentality of university, I think that's a.
Unless
Nah,
we
yeah, that's
want to
home
meet.
base at this
Unless
point.
we want to meet them somewhere. I mean, maybe they also ran into bad Kenku at the farm, so we can also
that's
go
a good
there.
point. If there are Kenku skulking around and incognito around, there might be some others.
Let's go to the Caspi farm. See
Yeah,
if we can
all
meet them
right,
on the
let's
way.
do that.
All right.
Do we?
So
What does it seem like our hummingbird friend feels about that?
uh,
Like, I try to pay attention to
roll
their
insight.
reaction. All right.
You know what? I'm in on that too.
24.
Okay, that's gonna succeed. But I need to know what did Greg crit fail on the inside?
Crit.
So Skataki, you feel like the Kenku is thinking about what his next potential like street art project is going to be. You have a you just feel like he's got a real good, deep artistic personality. You think that maybe
great.
Maybe he does those kind of pictures where they're two-dimensional, but if you look at them from a certain distance, they're three-dimensional, and they look like they're integrated into the landscape. Cool those are super dope. And you're confident he is, like, maybe that's what he's doing. Trapper.
I wonder if that's what socially distant art galleries are going to be in the future.
Right. Trapper, you absolutely get the sense that he was displeased at the idea of going to a university, and he is less displeased at the idea of going to the Caspi farm. It's not like he's overjoyed, but you can sense that there's like it's almost like you can hear his heart slow its tension a little bit, or its speed a little bit when it happens. With the 24, you definitely sense that he's like more relieved, which is overshadowed by his dissatisfaction at being, casually restrained by both of you.
All right, I'll make a note.
So, but you all head to the Caspi farm, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna cut.
I'm a little weary coming up, thinking he might have allies there.
We're gonna cut to the Caspi farm. This is at the same time that you all are kind of wrapping up to the cathedral, so you're not there yet. And we're gonna cut to the Caspi farm. I believe we were in the basement, and we had Star and Barry and Krov, as well as two. I want to say it was two Kenku that you all had decided to tie up and restrain, that you kind of dragged down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dragged down there, and of course, as stated, we see kind of an iron cage, like an iron freestanding box cage, centered in a circle that looks like some sort of arcane magic circle, and you've got Fredrickson's there in his normal fairy form, with his big pointed ears and his kind of eyes that are gently too far apart and also oversized. Still human, still very humanoid looking.
Which one's Fredrickson?
Goodhammer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In there and everything. And he's like, god damn it, fuck. Well, it's you guys, so what do you want?
Well, let's see here. Well, we could still really actually use your help. And it looks like you could use ours.
Well, I admit this does not look like a vacation, so I absolutely wouldn't mind a little bit of tit for tat, a little bit of quid pro quo. I'm sorry about the conflicts earlier. That wasn't my intention. Of course, you were meddling in my affairs, and I was really trying to make a play for that. I see you dealt with the garbage, the Magister.
I'm gonna lean in to his face, and I'm gonna go, "You talk too much."
Some people have said that I do have the gift for gab. Hold on, let me roll for his reaction. Okay, he's fine. Some people do say that I do have a bit of the gift for gab. So, I'll try to stay concise.
I mean, wait a minute. How long have you not been the real you?
You're not there yet, Trapper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is before you, Patience, and Skidaki arrive. This is just with Velvet Berry and Star.
So I gotta say, I feel like I understand you a bit better now after our last encounter. What do we have to do to get you on board with stopping this thing?
Let's see here. We've got stopping this thing. Okay, and he starts thinking in his head for a bit, and then he looks over at Krov. He almost starts talking, and then when looking at Krov, he takes a breath and he's like, to help with this situation, obviously you'd first have to let me out. That's the first step of anything here. The second thing is that I would need to be granted temporary ownership, let's say, I guess, because I doubt you're going to give me everything, but I'll meet you in the middle. Temporary ownership of all of the properties, of course, as that is required in my ritual to stop it. And number third, I'd like Fredrickson Goodhammer to be given a fair amount of credit for this, savior of the town, whatnot. Just to seem, like nobody likes being painted as a villain, and I certainly don't think what I was doing was all that villainous.
So, Fredrickson, I have some news to break it to you. The whole town thinks you're dead. There's a body.
Oh, there's a body. Well, that's crazy because the body's right here, and it's a mighty fine body, if I don't say so myself.
Everyone thinks you're a dwarf, not whatever the hell you are.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, I would look like a dwarf again. That's easy to do.
But you should not do that. Okay. This will be much easier, and your stigma with the town will be diminished if you take on a new persona.
Roll persuasion with advantage. Because you're being nice. Oh.
12.
Okay, we're gonna roll. I don't love the idea of coming up with a new character on the spot. Like, a lot goes into the work. I put years.
Do you need to?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, of course.
Is this in character, Steve?
You're presumed dead, but not dead. And without anybody contesting ownership over anything, and nobody bringing the deeds anywhere, is there any reason that you don't technically still own the properties?
Well, the pieces that I don't have is I still don't have some of the Caspi farm. I still don't have the property I need from Patience's university. So the continuing
you don't need Patience's university. They'll agree to work with you on this. You don't need ownership.
Well, that's why I'm saying temporary. That's why I'm saying temporary. I do need ownership of these properties.
You'll have access. You don't need ownership. You're full of shit when you say that.
Krav, you were going to say something.
I'm going to just kind of like stand next to him and tower over him from behind and just be an intimidating presence.
Yeah, it's being an intimidating presence. Okay, I'll roll against that as a passive. He's like, all right.
Passive intimidation.
All right. I have said and stated before, Krav specifically, even though many of you are quite threatening, Krav specifically has a passive intimidation score that NPCs have to roll against just to interact with him if they're not familiar with him already. So he looks and he smirks to himself and he's like, all right, I don't need ownership of the things if the people that own them are working with me. That is correct. I do not need ownership of those things. But I do need to be let out, and I feel like I should be compensated for this. Like, ass, cast, or grass, man. Nobody rides for free. I don't care if water's...
You think you should be compensated for this?
Yeah.
We should be compensated for this.
Well, I'm not... I have no dog in the
part of your compensation... Part of your compensation, we will make sure that there's something in it for you. We just need to figure out what that is along the way. Unfortunately, you're not getting Patience's university. She gets to keep that. And the Caspi farm, we're going to give back to them when this is all done and good over with. But we'll make sure there's something in it for you. But the first thing in it for you is that we don't walk out of here leaving you in this cage.
Persuasion again with advantage.
6. Jeez.
And he's like, you're more than welcome to try to handle this problem yourself. I mean, it's certainly, I can see that you're all very powerful heroes of Water's Wealth. That's obviously what's happening. So
he thinks I'm bluffing. I'm like, okay, guys, let's leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just, we'll go back to...
We'll go upstairs.
Yeah, I mean... We literally thought you were dead,
it,
so we were planning on doing this without you anyway.
We already have a plan.
Roll deception with advantage. Whoever, it's probably best for the person with the highest deception score amongst you to do this. I don't care which one, since you're all kind of
5.
immediately.
That would be you.
That's you.
All right, so that would be a.
And this is with advantage.
22. Yeah, 22.
Nice.
All right, and so he lets you all get like right to the stairwell and collect, and he's like, wait. I'm having an epiphany, which means that if y'all screw up and you don't do this right, then of course, you'll end up letting the beast out, and then I'm trapped down here in this farm, and I'm going to get destroyed because I can't use any of my magic while I'm in this little circle here, and that's not good for me. That's, as a fairy, I don't really like thinking about mortality. It's not really my thing. I understand that it's good for the passion, shorter-lived entities burn brightest, whatever the fuck. Anyway, let's all right, for now, I am willing to discuss further compensation after I've been let out of here and I begin to help you with this problem. And of course, everybody can keep the property.
That's not how this is gonna work.
Well, we don't have any way of let's be real here. We could really benefit from his help. I mean, and we know how he works. He just wants to get paid, like the little creep he is. He doesn't care about anything else, which means...
I mean, I really don't. Like, he's got me dead to rights on that one. I do love money and jewels.
So, really, he's actually not that hard to predict when you know what he wants. So we just have to make sure he gets something out of it. Now, that's not so bad, as long as he doesn't fuck over people in the process.
I don't trust him.
Oh, I don't trust him either. But we also know we can kick his ass pretty good if he gets uppity, because we've done it before.
Hey. I was having a bad day that day. You caught me unawares. If we were doing this in like a normal situation, all right, well, there's like 3 of you. You'd probably all kick my ass. But if I also had a pair of, big strapping lads with me, maybe it would be different. But either way, yes, I'll even do it fairy style. I promise no fairy trickery that I will not retain ownership of any of the properties you are concerned about me having ownership or try to claim ownership to them. B, I will not I will not try any kind of like weird trickery and run and escape before the morning after the night of the 2 full moons. C, I will do everything in my power to help you deal with this problem. And D, I will not seek some sort of unprofitable or ridiculous vengeance or harm you in any way after these events. You and I will be good to go. We've already had our conflict, bygones be bygones, water under the bridge. We'll just go our separate ways after the whole thing. I don't have a problem with that.
Now, I really like the sound of this deal, but how do we know that we can trust you with this? Is there some sort of magical binding to what you say?
Star, and Krav and Barry all roll either history or arcana.
Doesn't matter. Both of mine it was +0, and I got a 6.
15.
7.
Okay, Star, you seem to recall something that if a fey creature enters into a deal, they have to honor it. They do not have a choice on it. And you recall that from maybe some of your teachings on dealing with fey and commerce from your family, that they will honor the letter of the deal and specifically honor the words to the best of their abilities. It is a magic sealed pact for them, so they don't have a choice. Even if they currently are in a situation where there is no magic available to them, or they're not in the Fey realms or anything like that, they always have to do it.
Yeah. End quote.
Yeah.
You tell us that?
I said all of that.
Okay.
It was
so
great.
I'm going to reach in and then, what do you say, guys? Do we have a deal with Mr. Goodhammer over here? We're getting what we want out of it. We're getting help, and we're getting the properties.
Yeah, I think.
And he gets to go free, and we can give him a cut of the spoils.
Okay.
So he's like,
how much of the spoils?
That can be determined later. I'm not trying to grift you all. I'm of course going to try to negotiate for a higher number later, but for now, I'm more than just happy to get out of this ring. I have been pissing and shitting in a bucket over there, and that is unacceptable.
As a fae, there would be no piss or shit.
I'm going to shake
in a Stephen Kelsey joint?
Nope. Piss forward.
Okay, do we shake on it? And I offer to shake his hand.
He's like, sure, and he reaches out his hand, and he shakes Barry's hand, and everything.
And then I go to open the cage then.
You go to open the cage. I'm not going to go make you find like a key for it and everything. We'll just say it has some sort of external lock mechanism he couldn't reach, and everything. And so you open the cage. He is able to step out. The moment he steps out of the cage, or more importantly, out of the ring that the cage has him, you roll perception for the three of you, and let me know if any of you get above a 20 on perception while he's stepping out of the cage.
24. I rolled a nat 20.
I got a 20. Unnatural 20. A dirty 20.
Okay. Krav, you notice that he seems like a little weak and a little like skittish when he steps out of the cage. Barry, you remember a rumor being told to you once in a campfire story. It's not really a rumor so much as it is, but a quick flashback of a memory in a campfire story that just simply says, and if you ever run into a fae, remember, they hate iron. They can't touch it. It burns their skin. And then when you see him specifically make sure that he doesn't touch the iron, you begin to think that maybe there was some deeper truth into that. You know a lot of stories and a lot of tales, and you found that it's been beneficial to give them credence until proven wrong, and this is definitely one that does it. So he steps out, specifically avoiding touching the door, touching the side of the irons. At no point did he touch you, even through the handshake. He made sure not to let his skin touch any of the iron. And when he steps out of the circle, he takes a big, long, deep breath, breathes a little bit, and then immediately snaps his fingers and changes into, instead of a dwarf, he changes into a kind of just like 5'6" to 5'8", shorter human being, nicely, thinly, or thin little mustache, kind of center parted, flattened down black hair, arm cuffs for his white shirt, a black vest, and black pinstripe pants, and he just looks like he'd be a bartender in a nice bar. And he's like, well, gentlemen, now that we've made this pact, what should we do? Just at that point is when I would say Skataki, Trapper, and Patience enter the Caspi Farm region. Trapper, you said that you were entering with caution as you approach it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you inform Skataki and Patience that as well? Or
no, I don't want to tip off the Kenku, and I don't have any sort of telepathy.
All right, the Trapper, just roll for you for perception.
Okay.
Steve, as we get close, I change my grip from holding hands with the Kenku to grabbing his wrists.
15 on perception.
All right. All seems.
If we're getting closer to the house, I feel like I would mention, just be like, hey, he seemed pretty relieved when he heard we were coming to the Caspi farm. I think he might have friends here waiting for us.
Assuming that Krav and Barry and Star did not turn them into mincemeat.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
that's the funny part.
I stop walking.
What's up?
Turn to the Kenku. So, do you have little friends here waiting for us?
No, not at all. No, or sorry, what did he turn into? No, not at all. I don't have any friends waiting for us.
You know the mages know when you lie, right?
Roll either deception or intimidation on that.
Yay! It's a decent roll. Deception, not good. Intimidation, much better. 18.
18, and he goes, well, there might be a few friends around here. It might be a good idea to let me call out before you enter the structure.
I turned to Patience, light him on fire.
All right. There's probably some people that are inside that you could be ambushed by. We definitely had Kenku here, as far as I knew, all the way up through today. But since you said you were meeting your friends, my guess is either my friends are dead or your friends are dead. So if I'm being honest, yeah, you should definitely not just barge in there without knowing which one is the case.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I like our odds.
I could sneak up to the door and see. I'm gonna do that since no one's saying no.
Okay.
That's fine.
Be careful,
Well, I rolled a natural 20, so she's so sneaky.
You see that there's been combat inside. You see all the damaged furniture out on the lawn and everything from earlier. But you see that there's combat inside. But you don't see any sign of any of your friends on that floor because they're in the basement.
Aren't there a bunch of dead Kenku on the ground?
But there are dead Kenku on the ground.
Oh. I mean, and she kind of looks behind her. She's like, it looks good. There's a lot of dead Kenku in here.
Well, that's pretty terrible for me to hear, but I guess some of my friends.
Sorry.
Well, right on. I mean, I know it's just illusory magic, but if you want some sugar water, I got some.
You know what? I do want some sugar water. That's a real nice you to offer.
All right. Yeah, I got you. I hand him one.
He just starts dipping his beak into it real quick. Quick, in your hand, because your other hand, both of your hands have his arms. Everything, and so he just
sort of holding it as we're walking.
He just like a old 90s desk tchotchke, just kind of dips his face into the sugar water real quick, and then bobs his head back and drinks it. And then
we're walking in the house. What do we see?
You in the house, you see a bunch of dead Kenku. And you see the door to the closet, which eventually has the stairs to the basement, open. At that time, we're just gonna play it that Star, Krav, and Barry are walking up from that. And
I wanted to do one thing before we headed upstairs.
Yeah, okay, what did you want?
I wanted to untie the Caspies.
Oh yeah, the Caspies. The Caspies downstairs.
The Caspies.
Just sitting there.
They've been tied up. I wanted to get them out of there too. We don't want to leave them, those poor people. Do they recognize me?
They have no idea who you are. You've never talked to the actual Caspies before. They don't know who Krav, Star, or Barry are, and they're all like, "Oh, thank you for dealing with this problem."
So they had a Kenku infestation, and then these three giant monsters.
Yeah, understand that
barged in.
This is what these people have seen. Kenku have infested their area. The giant monsters have barged in. They've been in the basement next to an iron cell with a fey creature.
They got Attack of the Body Snatchered.
Yeah, they got snatched, body snatched. It's been a rough time for the Caspies, honestly.
So I basically will then just briefly explain to them what has happened up to that point and how we knew to come here in the first place.
They just nod at you wide-eyed. They're like, well, I mean, we don't have much, but anything of ours is yours if you.
Oh, don't worry about it.
If you need it. Thank you so much. And
we will take everything we need.
The only thing that we may need is the use of your land and preventing a horrible event that is coming up in a few days' time.
Oh yeah, the summoning. We overheard a lot of that when we were down here. That guy would not stop talking, gesturing over to Goodhammer, who just strokes his little thin mustache.
When I see that he is covered in illusory magic, I say, "Oh fuck, is that Goodhammer again?"
And everything, and he goes, well, I see the whole gang managed to, you know what, I'm not going to do this voice for Goodhammer anymore. It'll be a bit confusing for people if I sound exactly like him. So we're just going to do like a normal human voice, and we're going to pretend that I'm just from out of town.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
It's easier. It's easier. A Jenkins Frederickson.
So yeah, we made a. So are we now meeting up with them upstairs?
Yeah. So let's say you're all meeting up on the stairs.
Well, look what the cat dragged out. We found this one downstairs.
I did no such thing.
Who is this?
Well, it's Goodhammer, but we need to come up with a new name for him now because he's clearly not Goodhammer anymore.
Yeah.
How about Rude
Call him
Noodle?
Bad Mallet.
I like that one better.
Which one, Mad? What?
Bad Mallet.
Bad Mallet. All right, I like that. You know what? I like that a lot too. So I will from here on out go by Bad
Richardson Bad Mallet.
Richardson Bad.
Dick Bad Mallet.
Dick Bad Mallet.
We struck somewhat of a deal with Goodhammer here that lets you keep your land, that gets you the university back. Everyone else gets to keep their land, and we got him out of a bind, and he does get to make some money off of the deal at the end of this.
Shit. It's like a win-win-win. My therapist was telling me about that.
Well, this small friend.
Hold on, let me note down
actually...
that Odai has therapy. Odai has therapy. Hold on, let me put this. I have my notes up here, so I need to put this.
Yeah, I've been dealing recently with some acorn-related trauma.
Oh my god.
Therapy. Trapper goes to therapy. Done. Okay.
So I just like the idea that Trapper's therapy is like going and talking to animals. Just like
just a squirrel wearing glasses.
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
just
bro.
like all my problems.
And the squirrel's like, squeak, squeak, squeak.
Yeah.
And it all just automatically translates
how
does that make you feel?
That
Would
I
you
can
interpret
prepare
that differently?
That allows me to communicate with animals if I make like a wisdom saving throw or wisdom skill check or something.
Yep.
So conceivably that could be it, like actually.
Okay. It's canon. Squirrel.
There's some legitimately wise woodland
therapist.
creatures.
No, it's just a squirrel. It's always a squirrel that you talk to, and that squirrel's name is Jefferson the Squirrel.
Airplane.
Jefferson Luther. It's
Starship.
Dr. Luther. I call him Dr. Luther. He says I can call him Jeff, but I feel weird about it.
Luther spelled with 2 O's. Okay, Jefferson the Squirrel Luther.
By the way, what's your name? What are you going by now again? Richardson
Bad.
Banham.
They call me Bad Dickie for short, is what I'm saying. So you can just call me
Dick.
Bad Dickie. Or Dick.
I also got a bit of bad unfortunate news.
Why is that
for
so gross?
Your house unfortunately did burn down, but we did save the deed, so you can at least have the property back.
What did you say happened to my house? It burned down.
Oh, your house burned down.
What happened? What happened? How did it burn down?
Your
I look
guards
at
weren't
everybody.
very
I look at
accurate.
everyone else here.
Yeah,
I just said it was in the fight. The fire spread and hit the mansion.
Okay, if Star says that, Star, you have to roll deception on it.
Star, I'm glad you interrupted, Trapper. Trapper is very bad deception.
Nat 20.
Nat 20 on deception?
Hell.
And he goes,
With a shit, is that +5? Yeah, with a +5.
so a
even.
25 score, but a nat 20's auto.
It wouldn't be surprising for that field to have caught and lit the mansion on fire.
And he looks and he's like, well, I suppose I can spin a web about being kin to Good Hammer. Maybe I can do some paperwork manipulation and get the insurance money. I'm gonna admit I'm not gonna spend a second in this backwater fucking town or country. The moment we're done with this, I'm kind of done with Water's
Bobby's back at the at our university too.
Oh shit, Bobby! Fuck. Yeah, I guess that spell would hold. Yeah, let's get him here. And he snaps, and then Bobby just appears next to you all because he's familiar.
What's up, Bobby?
And everything. And Bobby's like, hey, I don't know why the DM wants to play so many NPCs at the same time, but here I am. This isn't going to be confusing at all.
What's going on with the 3 Kenku who now see each other, presumably?
They just they don't say a lot. They just sort of nod and acknowledge each other, but they're just standing there kind of laying low to sort of avoid being noticed. But with your passive perceptions, you can tell they're not like trying to do anything. They're just sort of standing and waiting what's going to happen.
Murdered.
Yeah. Should we take these ones to the local authorities? After all, they're not supposed to be in town. And they were kidnapping and disguising themselves as the people.
The Caspies are pro-authority.
You know,
yeah, they should absolutely.
That's a good point.
Is that going to kick off like any series of events that could get in our way, though?
That is something we should think about.
Do we want to avoid commotion, or do we want to get them out or further out?
Doing this could also get. What was the constable's name?
Which
the James.
The one who came and talked to us and gave us this task in the first place.
Yep.
James Law.
So yeah, let's go. First, let's go back to the
Law.
Let's go back to the university with Dick here and let him get to work on our plan, and then go take these Kenku over to the constable. How does that sound?
Especially because Molly wasn't at the church, so I don't know where she is. So I don't really know how to purify the land like I'd like to.
Oh no!
Oh, Molly was a real person before she was a Kenku?
Yeah. Why do you think me and Skataki were like, "Hello, Molly"?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't know how long she'd been a Kenku. Are the Kenku not always here?
Probably not. Literally my entire life.
I didn't know.
The deepest plant is I love the idea of a Kenku. It's like, all right, in 20 years, this is going to pay off.
Like a baby Kenku, yeah.
Just like, okay, 10-year-old
Odai Kenku war.
This is all part of the deep state games between the Kenku and the rest of Odai. That one mercenary group of Kenku and the rest of Odai.
So if their MO is tying folks up in the basement, Molly's probably somewhere at the church still, huh? Shit.
No, Molly's not at the church. Molly was at the. Molly said that, or the Kenku portraying Molly, that's now a hummingbird, said that Molly was gone on a religious trip of some sorts. So when they pretended to be Molly, everyone was like, go back and everything. I think at the time you rolled the people rolled enough insight that it was the truth. It's the truth. Now you know it's the truth, one way or the other, regardless of how you rolled. That's what I wrote for it. So,
got it.
Well, I would much rather do our work at the university than here.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'm going with patience for sure.
And the Casbys look out in the front yard and they're like, what happened to all of our furniture?
Oh,
God damn it.
This is the work of those Kenku.
Yo, this hall is narrow as fuck.
Yeah, our halls aren't really too OSHA standards yet.
Yeah, it's definitely not conducive to combat.
No,
that's for sure.
No, it helps with bottlenecks.
I think Krav might have some opinions on that.
Krav. and everything. and Krav, because these are the real Caspies, they don't offer you a plate of meat.
They're dead to me.
Krav must always be offered raw meat, or just not feel like he's being treated appropriately by locals. So if you all head back to the university, I'm gonna have all of you roll a perception check on the way back to the university. Just let me know if you get a 20 or higher.
Crit fail.
19.
That you can also let me know about crit fails. Greg, you're back in form.
Nat
this
20.
week. Nat 20 from that.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
If no one else has anything, Krav, your keen and trained eyes definitely notice that there are, again, on the walk back to the university, did you disguise or change up how the two Kenku that aren't disguised as hummingbirds go, or did you have them change their form or anything like that before you bounced out?
I assume we did.
I didn't realize we had more Kenku.
Yeah, you have the hummingbird, and then now we're just gonna say that you have two more hummingbird Kenku. They all kind of look the same.
Adorable.
Walking out, and they're very cute. They're all in similar outfits and everything, and then you've got now Richardson, Bad Mallet, or Bad Dickie with you as well.
Oh.
And so you're quite the group walking, but Krav, you notice that while you're walking, there are people in the shadows. With a nat 20, there are Kenku in the shadows of the alleyways, sort of like distance tracking you. They're not close. They're like 50, 75, 100 feet away, kind of staying to alleys or staying to rooftops on either side of you. And there's only a couple on each side, but they're sort of like shadowing you as you walk down and making sure they're not being noticed.
About how many did you say?
2 on either side.
2 on, so 4 total.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Does he
Nat 20,
tell
I'll give
us?
you their numbers.
Yeah, I'm going to, kind of like gather everybody around and looking forward. I'm just going to whisper, we're being trailed by 4 Kenku, 2 on either side.
It's probably not a good idea to go back to university with a tail then.
Agreed.
Should we split up and then take care of them? Tie them up?
I'm for slaughtering.
Yeah, how about you? Maybe we should, some party can keep going toward the university. And
Is there somewhere a little less public, maybe?
And maybe one of us can...
I mean, if we've got 3 of them enthralled, we could ask them.
They're not enthralled. They're just prisoners.
There are captives.
Yeah. So that could be something that could give us some leverage.
I don't think we want to cause a scene out here in public.
That's a really good point.
There's a lot of people out here that are not Kenku. And this could go very badly for all of us.
Can I see, Steve, can I see can I see one in the alleyway?
Yeah. You can see them. They keep popping up. Now one is now a couple of them are actually on the northern side of the buildings on the main road here. Northern side of the buildings are in an alley, kind of watching you at a distance, and the other ones on the southern side are up on rooftops, kind of further forward in the direction you were headed. They're a little bit over here. These guys are in this mix of alley here.
Barry, you and me, let's go take the 2 in the alleyway.
Or you want to do this right in broad daylight?
Well, it'll be in the alleyway. Nobody here to it.
I mean, he does have a point. That's narrow daylight.
No one can hear you scream in an alleyway.
What?
That's the way that's why they build alleyways, right?
As much as I love a good fight, I think
build alleyways. Oh,
I think caution is the better thing. Maybe we could lead them to a location where we could take them on more quietly rather than trying to fight them right here. Maybe I have an idea. Why don't we go to that old abandoned barn that we stopped them from those thugs from burning down? See if they follow us there.
Yes, now that's an idea.
Okay.
I love good fighting in an abandoned building.
It is good, right?
All right, Steve. Time to roll out the barn set piece again.
No, I don't have the barn. We didn't have a barn set. I don't have that. I didn't know you were gonna do this. Hold on.
It was just a long, narrow hallway.
Give me about. I'm just gonna be quiet for 30 to 45 minutes while I build a map for the barn. So, role play amongst yourselves. Carry the stream. And no.
All right, y'all. Let's build a barn.
Has anyone seen David?
David. Oh. David's gnomes suddenly appear. Worker tools. No, I'm kidding.
We've gotten Steve back on.
Is that what they call them now? Worker tools?
Yeah, they do it straight Mennonite style. So
that's not what I was doing.
Yeah, no. David's anything other than straight Mennonite style. If you want to go down to the barn, you can. Are you guys splitting the group, or are you moving down to the barn? And if you are splitting the group, how is the group splitting, and who's taking the Kenku or hummingbird people?
I don't think we should split. I think when we get in this fight, we can't trust these three not to help them out.
Could we drop these three off at the constable's office with one person, and then everyone else take the tail to the barn?
I don't know if one person would be enough for 3 Kenku.
I think if any one person gets left on their own, it's going to go badly for them.
Well, I think we're just going to have to fight all the Kenku at once, probably at the barn.
Yeah.
Or we could try and lose them. That's trickier.
How do we lose them with a group of 9?
Yeah, that's tricky. Especially with these 3 in tow.
Sorry.
It's group of 11, technically, I think.
11, yeah, sorry.
I vote barn brawl.
Yeah, same.
Okay, let's go to the barn.
Barn brawl 34.
All right, so y'all start heading down toward the barn, toward the barnway.
And I'd say to the 3 Kenku that are with us, like, if you don't want to lose your heads, you're going to sit down and stay quiet when we get where we're going. You're not going to help your friends.
And they nod. They don't even say anything back. They just nod. They're like, yeah, that sounds good. So while you're walking to the barn, everyone again roll a perception. Let me know if you get a 20 or above.
Or a 1 if you
I got exactly a 20.
24.
20.
Man, I haven't rolled above a 10
20.
tonight.
Yeah, Barry is not on fire today.
I'm the new
You're the new Greg. You get
I'm the new Greg.
Greg, you and Greg can duke it out for lowest rolls. I, as a DM, love it when you fail. But no, I don't. I don't want you to fail everything because then the story can't progress. Nonetheless, the ones that see 20 or above, you keep track of the existing kind of 4 or so Kenku that were following you, and you can tell that they continue to follow you and kind of keep your eyes beaded on them as you roll. No one got 25 or above, though, right?
No, I got 24.
Okay, so you see that.
Someone did get a nat 20, but...
Did somebody get a nat 20?
No, I think that was 20 after modifier. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. And so with no nat 20s or 25 or above, you get to the barn kind of unimpeded by anything. You do notice people looking at you, but at this point, that's not uncommon when the 6 of you are together, and especially now that you have a larger retinue of an extra 5 people with you.
As we're walking to the barn, I would definitely be asking, do we remember anything in the barn, like a hayloft, somewhere that we could scramble to real quick before they come in and still have the surprise when they enter?
Yeah, the barn itself, and you would remember this, Krav, Star, and Barry, since you were there, since it's a former schoolhouse, kind of like weirdly converted, empty schoolhouse that was a barn. Like it's kind of a mess of construction, but yeah, there are absolutely lofts and kind of walled off sections that are half walls and things that you could absolutely tuck into.
Yeah, we want to have the high ground.
If that were the case. The barn.
So there's a place for me to hide then.
Yeah, there is a place for the rogue to hide.
Actually, is there anything high up, like any sort of like nook or window or something?
Yeah,
like a loft.
There is a loft. There's a loft in like kind of midway down the hallway. You can see that there's like the rooms kind of have open ceilings. They don't go to the top ceiling of the barn, and there's lofting that's left up over there that you can easily get to that still has like ladders and stuff. And there's some storage of various supplies up there.
I'm darting up to shoot, what's my range?
You're fast as hell, and I bet you can shoot pretty.
I'm not worried.
Barn. I'm sure. I'm just
you can checking. Reach 80. So wherever everyone else is, I'm gonna try to quickly position myself up, hidden, and within 80 feet of the opposite entrance.
All right.
Of the hall.
Other than smart positioning, which I'm totally gonna let you guys just all kind of do, you like the posse can all kind of smartly position themselves, and then I assume you kind of just tuck the Kanku hummingbirds down. Do you tie them back up?
Yes, and then I'm also going to set a bear trap by the entrance and put hay over it.
All right. Roll roll a deception. This isn't going to be the entirety of it. I'm going to add your roll to their sort of like...
Could I use my survival skills?
Yeah, you can use your survival. I'm going to add your roll to it sort of basically add your roll to a flat thing that they'd have to hit.
22.
22, okay. So let me note that down as a number.
And then I basically just like have that like it's hooked up to like a post or something next to the entrance.
Okay. So you all wait for like a few minutes because they don't immediately. Go on.
Trapper is going to go ahead and transform into a technically large, 4 square-sized, daddy long-legged spider.
Creepy, totally within your right.
Using a female steeder build.
Okay.
For this wild shape.
So Trapper...
And I'm going to climb up into a corner of the ceiling. And just wait.
Trapper's in the ceiling, Star's in the loft. The other 4 remain hidden, but on the ground. And you wait for a bit. It does take some minutes before... they begin to approach because they were just seeing if you all were just going to go in and then go out. And so it takes, maybe like 10 minutes or so of time before they do that. And then they start...
Can I prepare an action while I'm up in the corner?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would like to wait until the 4th person enters the barn. And I want to leap onto them and use bite. Do I tell you the action I'm preparing, or do I just say?
No, you can just say you're preparing an action and what triggers it.
Oh shit!
And so the 4th person is fine.
Well, you know that I put up a trap, so you don't want to stop them from getting into that trap. So
right. That's why I'm waiting for the last person.
That was just on the one side, right?
Yeah. Give me just a second here.
Yeah. Then other door. I'm ready to shoot the first person that opens it, I guess.
If they go in. All right. So you see that.
I guess upon identifying, I don't feel like I have to be that ready, but
it's fine.
As soon as I see, an identifying threat,
it'll be fine. You're hidden and prepared. So you see
surprise party
that that the first Kenku comes in and he's coming in the door bear trap side. With his buddy shortly behind them, and both of them manage to avoid that bear trap. But unfortunately, the third Kenku does not avoid the bear trap, and hits it, and immediately it snaps up around. Bear trap? Do you mean the big clawy traps? The big.
It's called a hunting trap. It does 1d4 damage, and upon hitting them, they technically get to make a dexterity saving throw against it.
I'm gonna say that they don't because it was well hidden and they weren't looking down at the ground. So with the roll that they got.
They get a D4 of damage. So give me a second. I'll roll that.
Yep.
And I rolled a 4. So and it stops their movement. So now they have 0 movement until they can beat a DC 13 strength check to break free of it.
So they scream out, and the other two, and then the third one behind them. Star, you kind of quickly identify they're all coming in through the same entrance, or the fourth one, I should say, behind them, all coming in the same entrance. So you don't. I'll play that you're kind of keeping your eye out at the back, but you're positioned in a way that you can easily kind of glance back that way if anyone's coming, but mostly be focused on the 4 of them. So
what did we figure was the depth of the hallway then?
The depth of the hallway from where y'all are at, they're probably just out of range of shooting at this point.
Oh, I just meant like the total depth of the total hallway.
I'm trying to do the math here on how big this.
I don't think it was quite 200.
It wasn't quite 200 feet.
I feel like it was more like 150 though, maybe.
Yeah, it was like 150 to 180. It was basically 3 dash movements to get through it.
Okay, so I can basically make a movement's worth. What do I have to like roll stealth to stay hidden, or
you'd roll stealth with advantage at this point if you're going to immediately trigger an action upon the person getting their leg hit with this trap or not.
Yeah, so that would be that's a 15, I guess.
To your stealth?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm rolling specifically that they have disadvantage to see if they I'd have to roll on that. No one notices where Star is.
Okay.
Star is fully hidden, and they're too focused on their buddy getting the bear trap, and he's like, fuck! And he kind of pulls on his leg a little bit, but isn't able to do much at this immediate moment. All four Kenku have entered Trapper. Do you want to trigger your action yet, or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's your action?
So I'm going to use Leap, which is an ability. Where'd my steeder go? So I can expend all my movement on my turn to jump up to 90 feet vertically or horizontally, provided that its speed is at least 30 feet.
And yeah, you can.
My speed is 30 feet. And when I land, I'm going to bite. It is a melee weapon attack, +5 to hit.
Okay.
One creature. Oh, yeah. Well, let's see if it hits. Oh, wait. Is melee attack a D8?
No, D20 is the attack roll.
17 on the attack roll?
Yeah, that
+5,
hits.
22.
That hits.
Okay, cool.
And then you're a large spider?
Yes, I'm a
stats.
daddy long leg spider.
He's technically
a square.
He's a speeder.
He's a steeder. STEEDER.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, female steeder. Oh, damn. 1 +3, 4 piercing damage, and you need to make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, taking 9 or 2d8 acid damage on a failed save.
Hold on, let me confirm this. Are you doing it on the person that got caught in the bear trap, or the fourth member that actually walked in?
Fourth is what I prepared for.
Okay. So I need to do a DC 12 Constitution.
Yep.
That ain't gonna do it. So he takes the full brunt of it.
And so I rolled 2d8, 7 plus 4, 11 acid damage.
11 acid damage on top of your 4 initial bite damage?
Yes.
So you just kill him. He just dies instantly.
If you fail, it's half damage. If you save, it's half damage.
Yeah, no, I failed. And so he just dies. And so the bear trap goes off. The spider jumps out. Because you're up in the wing, Star, this is kind of like a surprise round, essentially, at this point.
Okay.
Star, I'll let you go, and then I'll get to Skataki, Barry, and Patience to also kind of take actions or do things during this round. Before
Steve,
they
I do
even
want to
get
mention
roll
real
initiative.
quick.
Yeah.
Right while I'm spider, I have +7 stealth, dark vision up to 120 feet, and passive perception 10.
Yeah, I've got your stats up.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
Okay. So Star, what do you do?
All right, so I'm doing
This little
combat. What is it?
I don't know,
yeah,
guys. I think the
I'm
alley
just doing
is
a
the
regular
best
shot.
suggestion.
That's what you're thinking now.
Alleys are for. That's why they have alleys.
No, I fired off, so I got a 23 to hit number 2.
Unsurprisingly, that hits number 2.
Yeah. And then hit 4. God damn it. That would be 11 damage.
11?
Yeah.
You kill him. He just goes down, shoots, and he dies. So 2 of them are dead. One of them's in a bear trap, and one of them's alive, looking at the guy in the bear trap, and the large spider, and the
smoldering carcass of his friend.
Yeah, the large spider, the smoldering carcass of his friend, and then an arrow that just goes down. We'll just go top down. Skitaki.
I also got a 21 for stealth for staying hidden.
For disappearing back again. Okay.
Yeah.
Or staying in the loft hidden. They're like, where did that bolt come from?
Hiding as soon as I make the shot.
Skitaki, yeah. what's your next, or what's your action here?
So Josh, did Trapper relay in any way, shape, or form what his plan was in terms of like waiting to the fourth person and all that?
Oh, I definitely made sure everyone could see me transform because I know it looks cool as fuck.
But did you relay? Did you relay that you were gonna wait until all 4 of them were in or not?
No.
Okay. So as soon as the first guy pops his head in, I'm putting a bullet in it.
Okay. I'll play that.
But
This
it's
can all
okay
happen at
because
the
I'll
same
miss.
Retcon.
Right. We're gonna.
What did you get, Greg?
I hit 19 plus
bullet.
6.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
Time bullet would be a dope spell if you could shoot someone up to 3 rounds or like 3 actions ago and undo their actions as long as they were only a certain amount since.
You did 11 damage as well, Greg?
Yep.
Okay, well, that guy's gonna die. To clarify, there is a spell called Time Stop, if I recall correctly. I think that's its name. That's a very high-level spell that allows you to get 1d4 rounds of action before anyone else can go, like in between it. So you get 1 action automatically, and then
That's
you get 1d4
cool.
on top of that. So at minimum, it gives you 2 actions in a row, but it can be up to 5 actions.
5.
And when I say actions, I should say rounds. It gives you full-bodied rounds, so it's 5. It can be up to 5 turns, and it is a very high-level spell. I think it's an 8th or a 9th level spell, and it is incredibly upsetting for enemies to have it and incredibly awesome for allies to have it. Because there's nothing like having 5 unfettered turns, or up to 5. So that one dies.
Especially if on the second one you can turn into a beast.
We as players know that all but one of them that's caught in the bear trap is dead, but in character you're seeing kind of all this sort of happen in a flurry. I believe Krav, Barry, and Patience haven't had a chance to take an action in this surprise round. Do any of you want to take an action? We'll say your knowledge awareness of what's going on is one of them is in a bear trap and a giant spider is there attacking another one. And then you hear Skitaki's gun, and you also you can't really hear the bolt, so you don't the person. So we're gonna say this is all kind of happening at the same time. Do any of you want to take an action? I'm not gonna like make you attack something that's already dead, but do any of you want to take an action on the bear gun?
So there's 2 left that haven't.
There's 1 left.
There's 1.
There's 1 left.
Yeah.
I'll take
only
him.
Only the one left in the bear trap.
Yeah. And so.
Oh, is that?
Hold on.
Is he trapped in the bear trap?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, until he makes a save to a strength throw.
Save on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's grappled.
1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
It's not quite grappled, but it's essentially that. He has 0 movement.
Okay.
I'll attack him, but I'm not gonna kill him. I'll knock him out.
Yeah, knock him out.
Do I get advantage?
You know what? Let me just roll for him. No, you don't.
Okay.
Oops. We lost the bugbear.
Rip.
Frozen in the ether.
Oh, we did. He'll come back. What did you get, Croft?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that hits.
There we go. He's back.
12.
Okay, so you knock him fully out. He's fully knocked out. He's unconscious. Barry has stepped away. Patience, is there anything you want to do in this? Obviously not attack, but...
Yeah, I think like her first thing is that, first of all, she's like at like about half health. So she doesn't really want to be attacked. So she uses thaumaturgy to create harmless tremors in the ground for a minute, just essentially to kind of try to, I don't know, drive them off or cause confusion. And that means I have to roll on the wild magic.
Yes, you do.
This just happens. I rolled a 19, so you can't get me today, game mommy.
Not on this one. So the ground is shaking. We'll play that. We'll let Barry do stuff when they come back, but we'll play that this is all sort of done its thing now. So there's 3 that are dead. The one in the bear trap is unconscious. All of you are there. And everything. I'm gonna have everyone, since you did it so very fast. I'm gonna have everyone. Well, actually, no. I'm going to do this. The hummingbirds do nothing. So the hummingbirds just
but
hang
shit
out.
their pants.
They're just like, yep. This is why we didn't resist. This is a good reason for not resisting these people.
And I did say we tied them up.
Yeah, they were tied up. They were going to try to, if this became any kind of actual combat, they were going to try to, like, work their way out with deception and dexterity. But that's no time. So,
have I finished draining the first one yet?
Yeah, the first one's fully gone. The second one is dead with a bolt. The third one,
I meant I was draining him, though. I was feeding.
You were feeding? Yeah, that's fine. You feed. You gobble them up quick.
I finished. I trap her up.
Trap her up.
Yeah. So you killed these 4 canker that were following you.
All right.
Quick and effective.
So, okay. Leave their bodies here.
Let's move them inside and then head back to the unit.
Well, I want to interrogate the guy I knocked out.
Oh yeah. There's a guy that.
Is there anything decent in any of these pockets?
No.
Okay.
All right.
How are the robes? I check out the robes.
Bear trap. I'm gonna tie up the kanku that's in the bear trap.
Yeah.
I'll actually take him out of the bear trap.
This is fair.
I'm gonna reclaim the hunting trap and put it away.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Because I'm not leaving that behind.
I'm gonna wake him up.
He wakes up and he's like, and he breathes and he looks and he sees the three hummingbird kanku tied up with him, and he's like, "What are you doing? A collection here? What's happening?
Who sent you?
Who sent us?" And he sits and he glances at his buddies, and then he looks back at Krav. I have to roll against Krav's passive intimidate.
I can roll an
he fails against your passive intimidate.
Okay.
And so he looks at all of you and he's like fuck. Well, I'm gonna get fired or murdered after this anyway. Our commander sent us. We have been tracking you all for basically since we spotted you outside of the fortress. We've been keeping eyes on you since then. Outside of the camp fortress. So he sent us. We've been working in shifts. This was my first shift and will apparently be my last shift.
What do you want with us?
Well, more, just to make sure that you're not going to be a problem.
Well, you guys should have thought about that before they openly attacked us for no good reason.
I mean, you were hanging out outside the fort, like.
No, I'm not talking about that. Your friends here. You got. Oh, and I point to whichever ones were in the house with us.
Yeah.
Like you attacked us unprovoked.
He looks at the hummingbirds. And he's like, "Did you honestly attack all of these people just out of nowhere?" And
same over here.
They just respond with, you know, the kind of logic that they have, which is that they're like, well, he was in the they were at the Casby farm, and he nods and he's like, yeah, the Casby farm, yeah, seems. And so it's not it's unprovoked, but potentially required by their position. They weren't supposed to let anyone know that there was anything afoul at the Casby farm, including.
And here's the thing, though. I specifically tried to get them to reason with them even after they changed, and they kept coming.
Well, yeah, they you understand. It's our job to kill you. Like, if you get too close to anything we're doing, we're all supposed to kill you. There's no negotiating. You're supposed to die.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna grab him and I'm gonna slam him against the wall.
And he's like, ow, quit it. quit it. I don't enjoy this.
You're gonna go back to your commander and you're gonna tell him to call y'all off, or this is what's gonna happen to the rest of you. And I'm gonna point to all the dead kanku.
I lick my lips.
And he's like,
I'm over here just like
you have, oh no, because you changed back. That's right.
Barry has the look of a guy who's like, well, that's going to cause a lot of problems, but I'm also looking forward to more fights as a result of this.
And he looks at the bugbear, the trembling ground, or the recently trembling ground, the tiefling, the half-orc, the tabaxi, the coyote man that was just a spider, and the dragonborn that's currently got him pinned up against the wall, trying to remember what his safe word's supposed to be. And he's sitting there like, no, I am absolutely... If you release me, I am 100% going to report to the commander that you might not have a good return on investment on messing with in this manner, or over this matter.
But you should also tell them that if they leave us alone, we won't. If you stay out of our way and we get this problem solved, you won't have to have any problems with us.
Absolutely, I have no problem delivering that message.
If I might add one,
the half-orc's the nice one.
If I might also add one additional thing,
Barry is the nice one.
Technically, we are trying to accomplish the same thing, which is that the terror coming to destroy this land is to be stopped. If we get to do it, y'all still get paid, but you don't die of the horror, which it will kill you. But if you don't let us do it, then you will die of the horror, which will kill you.
We have
an understanding.
And he just nods and he's like, this all makes a lot of sense to me.
We all want the same thing.
Good. Get out of here.
I have one last thing actually I want to say to him.
Okay.
If we need to talk to you again, is there a way we could talk to you peacefully?
To me personally, no. I will almost certainly be in like a cell or killed for my failure here.
Now, talk to a representative of y'all.
Yeah.
He's remarkably made peace with his mortality here.
No, it's mercenary's life. You fuck up, you die. That's just how it works in the game. As far as talking with them, yeah, like if you just simply come up to the the entrance of the fortress, there's like a door that you can kind of see that we crafted off on that wood fort. And just, there's guards that are stationed there. You should be able to request an audience if you like, and they'll have an audience with you, especially if you're, carrying some coin on the back end of that request. Never let it be said that, we turn down money ever. But I mean, even just a conversation, that seems like it would be fine. I mean,
I think the coin is already part of the deal. The assistance just helps you achieve the coin.
Exactly. So you don't, but you won't need it.
Yeah.
If you just go there and request an audience or a meeting, they're gonna know who you are. So they'll have that, especially if everything seems
good to know our reputation precedes us.
Well, yeah. I mean, you all kind of stick out. You stick out a lot.
Well, now you made it not as nice.
Well, what am I gonna say?
That's
Look
because
at all
of that.
Look at all
of the tobacco.
I'm over here like, he's right, guys. We do stand out pretty good, don't we? We're a pretty rad bunch, aren't we?
I'm a 4'6" Kanku. Like the shortest one of you is over a foot taller than me. Come on, you're all very terrifying.
Yeah, I look like fucking Narnia Goofy.
So we're good here. What about question? It's not required. I don't honestly, but I might be able to save my own neck if I can take my friends back with me as well that you have captured.
I would prefer
unless you put him to death, because he doesn't see them. So it's like, unless you put him to death already while you were in here, then obviously I can't. But if I was able to return them and sort of like they caught us and 3 of us died, but they had 3 prisoners and I negotiated them back, it would possibly allow me to breathe for a little bit.
Well, here's the thing, though, is that we know you're not supposed to be in town at all as a part of your deal with the town.
Well, yeah, of course not.
So, that lets you cover up your shit that you've been pulling.
Well,
not if we keep one.
Well, we do have dead bodies here, so we can certainly bring one of those with us to the constable instead.
Also, that might... So, two things. One, if we do take them to the constable, that then kicks off perhaps trouble for the mayor and people freaking out about the Kenku and that weird distraction going on. I don't know about y'all, but I don't really want to be hauling these guys around, and I really don't want anyone else to die.
So
I think if this can broker a peace, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So
I think
we let you go back, but we are taking one of these bodies to the constable as proof that y'all have been in town.
Oh, you can do whatever you want with the bodies. We don't care about them. They ain't breathing. They ain't worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe we save that as a bargaining chip we can still use to try and broker a peace. I think we might need to make this a 3-headed front to take on the horror.
I'm with that.
I really don't want to carry around a dead body. It's enough to be killing them. It's another thing to have to keep looking at it.
I mean, I think we can keep it.
I don't want to have to add another, thing we have to start and lay down and entangle and go through when we already have a limited amount of time and we have specific things we have to do.
Plus, can I just say, Kenku are smelly when they're alive.
Hey! Calm down here, lizard guy.
Aren't they made of meat, though?
And I'm over here like the dude who hasn't bathed in probably a week straight. I'm just like, yeah, Kenku are pretty sticky.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we need to hide a body, I got a place.
What?
Don't
Oh my
worry
God.
about it. It was this whole thing.
All right, so
Not a whole thing.
body hiding. Number one, are you all releasing the other three Kanku, the hummingbird Kankus?
Yeah.
I say we escort them back to their camp. We'll walk them back, and so that makes sure we can get to see them walk in there from a distance.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Okay.
A
with
distance that is farther away than perhaps
The ballista can reach you.
Yeah.
That's
I
fair.
don't want to get shot by a. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah.
Okay.
Do we not want to try to?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Out of like crossbow.
Ballista range, yeah.
Yeah, ballista. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
We don't want to try to return them, and like initiate contact at the same time.
I think
No.
trying to initiate contact immediately after having killed a bunch of them is probably not going to go over.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I'd rather have the live Kenku tell the stories of our exploits first.
Fair.
I have the
Yeah,
same
that's very-
objection, and I have the same objection there anyway. I think it's another unnecessary entanglement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good call.
We need to focus on doing everything to prevent this horror from
Dick, what do you think about this?
consuming the population.
Dick, who has just been, I don't know, maybe reading a book. Oh, looks up and is like, and he's like, well, I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other. The Kanku were only a minor interference. Clock them occasionally sneaking around town, and they're definitely doing something pretty evil down there in that fort. But doesn't seem to be. They didn't seem to be interfering with my plans too much. So, do what you will with them. But I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't not keep looking over your shoulder at them. I definitely had people on them while I was still alive. So yeah.
All right.
We do that.
All right. Do you all go back to the Kanku fort to follow them?
I definitely do.
Might as well stay together.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
we split.
All right,
fine with
so to be out of range of the ballista, these smaller ballista, you got to be like 400, 500 feet back. But it's fine because it's fairly flat desert up to the fort. It's flat rock up to the fort, so it's not like you can't see them the entire way. So you're walking these Kanku back to that range. And then I assume you're untying them and letting them go, or are you just keeping their wrists tied and then letting them walk wrist tied back to the thing?
I'm taking my rope back, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone needs a good berry, I have 9 left.
Yeah.
Oh God, please.
Yeah. How many you need, patience?
Well, I'm 10 hit points down, so 3, 4, 5. How many you got?
Yeah. Here's 5. Pop, 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 pop.
Oh, thank you.
I love the use of Goodberry, which is definitely like a last moment get someone back up from 0 so they don't have to keep doing death saves type thing, being used as like minor healing spells because of the quantity. I absolutely love it.
It's nice because you can do 10 of it,
yeah, it's just
and you don't have to like use it in the moment, which is nice.
It's they last for a day, and then they go bad. But they last for a day, and you can as a druid, you can do them daily. Like it's not hard to justify doing that. Or doing them like right before you go to bed.
Patience is just like stuffing her face with berries, like ow, oh God.
Good berries. Good berries are delicious. So they go back.
And the obvious pun is sitting right in front of me, and I won't do it.
Yeah. The good berries heal up patience. You see them walking toward and stalling at the entrance for a bit before the entrance sort of lets them in. And then before you leave, roll insight for everyone that is there. Roll an insight check.
I got an
23.
17.
3.
Trapper with 23. Y'all can see this because it's visible, but Trapper with a 23 sees that like brief moments afterward, you see at like one of the wood towers that's sort of flanking the entrance of the fortress, that you see that they unfurl a yellow flag on either side of the towers on the entrance. And for some reason, it's Trapper that knows that yellow flag means that they are actually asking for a conversation. They're asking to meet. They're asking to entreat.
Like immediately?
Yeah, that's what it usually means.
It's like, oh shit. I know a lot of bird folk, and yellow flags outside the door mean that they want to talk. They want us to come in.
Well, then, what do you say? Do you want to have some of you guys stay out here and some of us go in?
I'm a big fan of, again, that I don't particularly want to go in there, but I think we should stick together.
Okay.
If they want to talk, they can come out.
Right.
That's a good point. Anyone else want to take me up on any of those good berries left? 4 left.
I think we've shown a pretty good gesture. I don't mind going in there. I'll walk up to the gate by myself if I need to.
I'll go too.
Those berries are delicious, and I would eat the other 4 in case no one else needs them.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, I accidentally drank water. God damn it.
Oh, disgusting.
There we go. There's the good stuff.
Yikes.
Yeah, no, I don't
like
putting...
to imagine
I don't like putting...
Trapper's good...
Oh, go on.
Ahead. I was just going to say I like to imagine Trapper's good berries taste like if crunch berries were based on an actual fruit.
So I may be tough and brave enough to go up there and talk to them, but I'm not the one here with the silver tongue. If you know what I mean.
That's why I'm right here.
Star went with you. So Star and Barry, you sort of do a forward party thing where you go up to kind of be there. The ballistas don't go off. You can Skataki and Krav and Trapper and Patience. You can all see that they're not even like manning them. They're not like sitting like right behind them or anything like that.
Right.
So they're not looking to like go like we lied and then just shoot at you.
Are Kenku based on ravens or crows?
Crows.
I'm gonna just disguise self as a raven person.
As a very similar but not quite Kenku.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's vaguely kindred. I don't know.
But nonetheless, when Barry and Star get there, they've opened up the fortress gates inward. You can immediately see the rows of tents. It's a pretty orderly camp, which you got the judgment for when you were walking there, and everything. And you can see a Kenku in a nice little like black brocade kind of vest. And nice like pleated gray slacks, and little like wing tip shoes, and they have little spectacles on and everything. And they look at you very kindly, and they're like, "Oh yes, I believe you two are members of that motley crew that were happening past recently, and we've recently been told that you showed some mercy in our tracking group on you, as well as some of our other operatives. Yes, it seems that our commander would like a word with you potentially, as we might be in a bit of a mixed bag of mutual interest here."
It probably is about time that we combined our efforts, honestly.
Yes.
Well, let's lead the way. Let's go meet the guy.
Okay, so you guys at a distance can all see Barry and Star going in. Do you also come in after them, or do you still hang outside?
Do they beckon us?
I wave to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
I'm gonna go in.
Yeah.
Skataki?
Oh, Greg, you're muted.
There it is. Okay.
Add him.
What did you do, Greg? There was like weird noise.
And then Greg was muted again.
Sing to me, Greg. Sing me the song of your people.
I don't know what's going on with my Skype.
There we go.
All right, yeah.
All right, good. So I guess I'll go in too. I was gonna set up and keep an eye on the parapets, but if everybody else is going in, it's kind of silly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
now Trapper's gone.
That's fine. Going in at first here. So all of them go in. They clock the very Kanku-looking person that's with you, and are gently offended by it.
I was gonna say. Wearing Kanku face.
Exactly.
What is this? The new
Dick
Facebook
Bobby
image
with
filter? Yeah, they're with you too. They didn't go anywhere, so they're with you. In fact, Bad Dickie. Bad Dickie looks and he's like, now I understand that these are mercenaries. They're men of money rather than men of morals, principle, or deeds. But you might be, and he kind of keeps his voice real low, and he's like, you might want to be on maximum guard here, folks. We are in the lion's nest. If the lion was a bunch of murdering Kankus, just letting you know. And Bobby, of course, is immediately just like looking around, being very excited because he's supposed to be a child or a young teenager and everything. And since we're in the past where there's not internet or media to distract teenagers, they're just earnest instead of dicks. They still have some sort of that youthful optimism that I imagine kids used to have in times before everything made them just bitter. So you walk through the camp and you can see kind of like a major tent. I'm gonna move to the map a little bit for the stream just so that people can see it. Now I'm gonna accidentally go to that thing. So there's kind of like a major set of tents toward the back end here of the main fort. You can see that there's another small walled off things on the other side of the fort here, but you're kind of in the top section of it right here. And as you kind of walk back toward the main tent, you can see all of the Kanku are having their discussions or training at like archery posts. Some of them are just sitting around campfires, eating and drinking. And on the tent, as the doors are opened up, or as the tent flaps are opened apart, you walk in, and there's like, kind of like a makeshift war tent here. There's a table, there's maps on there, there's some like dressers and chests around. There's several Kanku in here, about a half dozen, all dressed in nicer armor than you see the other Kanku in, and nicer equipment than you see the other Kanku in. And there's Kanku sort of sitting at a chair at kind of the head of the map table, and the map's at a casual glancer of Water's Wealth in the surrounding area. You can even see that one has a circle and a dot drawn on it, like you came to the conclusion at the Casby farm. On it, and you can see this person sitting down, and they sort of lean back in their chair. Some of their feathers and hair and just kind of overall look is grayer, and they sort of like rub the top of their beak a little bit, and then gesture to you, and they're like, I see that you've come in. Thank you. Please have a seat. And the one with the spectacles nods and separates from you as the now 8 of you are offered pulled up chairs by different Kanku that like offer chairs for you. They're little like wood folding chairs, and they offer chairs to you.
Free takes a seat.
Patient sits down.
Somebody starts bringing out water immediately without asking and starts pouring water into little copper cups.
Patience does not drink the water.
Barry drinks the water.
Has had a bad experience recently. Can I use my medallion of thoughts, please?
Yeah.
So it lets me detect thoughts. Your main guy needs to make a spell save, DC 13.
All right, let me roll to see if he makes it. He does not. You get to know his thoughts.
Excellent.
All right, so the way that we're going to play this is, how long does that last?
I believe it lasts for the action expend 1 charge, detect thoughts. Let me hold on. Is it for the duration? How long is the duration? Up to a minute.
Up to a minute.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's basically just kind of getting the first minute of the conversation.
All right. And
so I'll let you decide what to do with that.
So I will play that. So you're all sitting or standing. There's no strategic thing at the moment for sitting and standing. Nobody's like really close up on you. This tent is open enough that you can, apparent enough that no one can really tuck themselves away from your vision or anything. And the commander just leans back in his chair as he also takes a sip of water from his copper cup. And he sits and it's like, it seems that you have all been interacting with Fredrickson, rest in peace, Goodhammer, and the town in such a way that...
Is he not still with us?
He is, but the Kenku commander
doesn't know who
it is. He doesn't know who Bad Dickie is.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who Bad Dickie is.
I'm trying to forget.
Bad Dickie is what happens when I have to come up when characters keep getting renamed. So bad, and it's like, it seems like you've all managed to land upon this same thing, and he kind of gestures to the map with the circle and the dot on it. So you too know about the pale, the night of 2 full moons, and the unfortunate events that might occur with that night. And we are also very interested in that scenario. So we would like to discuss with you potential, we'll call it truce between us, and perhaps allyship, if you will, to make this easier on everyone.
What is your primary strategy?
First, I wanted to say that when you guys fired bolts at us outside of your place, we weren't even... You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, no, it was Selene that was crunchy.
No, I heard Selene say primary strategy, and I'm going to address that too, and I'm going to make sure it's all compressed in the appropriate time for detect thoughts.
And I was going to say, we weren't even looking for you. We were tracking a bunch of bandits that had stolen from the circus.
Well, that was unfortunate. I will admit my men are
and
a bit
unnecessary.
Testy. Yeah, unnecessary, but they're a bit testy, and when they see someone showing any sort of significant interest in our camp, they tend to think foe rather than friend. And, that's a failure of management, and I can trust you that going forward we will do better. So I do apologize for any harm we may have caused. As for strategy, we were thinking about potentially rerouting this this thing. We do not have the kind of magic that would allow it to be dispelled, and we certainly don't want to go up this against this Skeeter feller that the town, or that we've come to the conclusion is causing this. But what we would like to do is maybe put it someplace that it can't hurt anyone and then kill it. We can't move it to another plane, but we might be able to move it to another convenient location where it is restrained enough for us to, for lack of a better term, put enough metal in its body till it no longer breathes. So that was our plan. Now, that's what he's saying to the group. For the detect thoughts, we're gonna see. I'm just gonna see how smart he might be. That's a natural 5. For the detect thoughts, what Patience can hear in Patience's head is the fact that every time he says remote place or move it to another area, that is a lie, and he is specifically beginning to. He's thinking in terms of, what do I tell them? Like, how you can hear that he is coming up with this off the top of his head, really. Almost like he was dungeon mastering a game and was not prepared for you to meet the Kenku commander at this time, but likes the idea of it anyway.
I was gonna say, you're the one who raised the flag, but I see you decided recently.
I liked it. You were eventually gonna meet this guy, so it's not. I just didn't plan it for this one. He looks and everything, so you can see that he's coming up with it. I'm going to have you roll 2d20 and tell me what the higher number is to see. To see how much I reveal of his inner thoughts.
18.
Okay, so he doesn't intend to move it anywhere that's safe. He intends to move it within the camp and seems to have some solution for it being inside of his camp, even though it's a terror monster.
All right. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit on that for a little bit.
And so he's like, so we see that you have discovered these same situations based off of our intelligence. By the way, thank you again for returning some of our operatives. It would have been perfectly within your right to just murder them all. And so I appreciate not having that much of a hit on the payroll. However,
Place not right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, even tools that don't work all the time have some value. We still need people to clean and take out the latrines. We still need cooks. So what I would like to propose is that in order for us to do this, we are concerned that the person, the cause of this, Skeeter, may recognize our actions to oppose him. And if he recognizes this, and then we have to simultaneously be working at securing these locations and changing the portal at the correct moment, we will not be able to appropriately defend ourselves. So what we would like is perhaps to go into a pact where you perhaps distract Skeeter, or perhaps make enough noise at one location that he may have to keep his attentions in that direction for the purposes of us getting this off. And then we will be more than happy to cut you in on the money that the town is paying us, the very handsome sum that we are paying for the protection, as well as the credit. We can temporarily make you a part of our mercenary order, or we can simply do this as a standard allegiance. It's up to you.
I, for one, am good with distraction.
I don't think that seems like a very good deal.
I'm for one, at least just letting us execute our plan and you execute yours, and we do our best to stay out of each other's way.
Well, what is your plan then?
We don't want to summon this thing in the first place at all. It should go out of this plane. There's no sense of putting anyone at risk if we don't have to.
So you'd rather send it to another plane. Do you have some sort of wizard or caster amongst you that has the ability to do that?
Couple.
We do.
And you have upper or the incredibly complex magic of plane shifting already directed enchantments.
We're working on it.
Working on it, yes.
Either way,
I mean, us working on it could be the very distraction that you're looking for.
Perhaps. That is true. And he sits and he thinks about it. Roll persuasion. I'm going to say for this one, patience. and Trapper and Barry. All of you just roll regular persuasion. I'm going to treat this as sort of like a triple advantage with some variation in skill, obviously.
I rolled a natural 20 plus 4, 24.
Well, that's a natural 20.
17.
Mix.
Yeah.
So unless anyone else rolled a natural 20.
I just rolled a 3.
While this is happening, Skitaki and Star, please roll perception. Just regular perception. No advantage.
Oh, jeez. That's not fair. 7.
Okay. Skitaki. 11.
Oh.
All right.
At least we can get hot food.
I'm sorry, 13. I'm looking at the wrong line.
13. All right. With the 13, I am going to say that you, Skitaki, notice that the nicer dressed, what you would probably assume are commanders, have all slowly or have been slowly exiting during this discussion. A couple of them exited right away, and then another one, and now you notice a third one is exiting. There's a fourth. The fourth one is exiting. There's a fifth one left. And then there's a couple Kenku who look like they're just kind of on hand to be attendants to the commander. But you notice everyone is leaving a little bit at this moment, piece by piece, other than the commander, obviously, who's sitting, and everything. So that's what you notice at a 13. Krav, roll a d20 on sense good and evil. I'm going to say you sense evil because you've already sensed it in here and you felt it the moment you stepped in. But roll a d20 on this. That's an insight on it, I guess.
10.
All right. So you still sense a great amount of dark, evil, like wrathful thing, but you don't really know where it's coming from. But it's definitely there. It's not like coming off of the commander or anything like that. You can tell that much. And
you're lying to us. Something.
Yeah. So the commander kind of leans back and everything and considers for a bit. With the natural 20 persuasion, he's like, that could be a good plan. Have you found a location or a person in Waterswealth that's familiar with extra dimensional magic?
Hey,
you ask
Steve.
A lot of questions.
I don't know if there's anyone in the college.
There is not anyone in the college.
Someone that hasn't been established, but the patients would know.
Roll history. There is one person in Waterswealth. I
love rolling history. Well, even though I have a +5 to history, it's only a 12.
It's on the tip of your tongue. There is definitely someone that, now that you think about it, has gone to the college, actually went at the college and everything, and was studying it, and it's beginning to come back to you, but you're not sure who it is. Skitaki, also roll history, since you're a local.
10, 9.
9. Skitaki, you can't think of anyone, and everything. But with the 20 persuasion, I'm going to say that the commander is looking to interact with you on this level. And he's like, the only person that we had wasn't too friendly with us. You might have a better chance with them than us. And so we think that there might be a situation where they would be more helpful to you than us. But if you're distracting them, if you're acting as a thing to shift them just off of the physical plane into some sort of extra dimensional portal, or perhaps a demi-plane somewhere where they can't hurt anyone, we see no problem with that. That would still solve our issue, and we'd be more than happy to do that, but even the act of that would be a distraction, I think. That would work out quite good for us. So we are utilizing, to be honest, agents within the city to monitor actions and continue to monitor the positions and areas of people that are interested in this. We have to protect our financial interests, make sure that no one scoops the glory, or more importantly, the payment out from under us. But we'd be willing to cut you in on, let's see, 15% of the reward. I think that would be fair. I think that would be a decent price. 15% of the payment fee, if you were to be so kind as to assist us with this. We can even update the Magister for you. Let them know that you're working for us directly.
I look at Star.
I want to say we need at least 25.
All right, Star. Roll persuasion.
Do I get advantage from the fact that I'm haggling? I'm like an adrenaline rushed.
I'm gonna say you get advantage for this. Is exactly the kind of haggling you want. Large service contract haggling.
Yeah, exactly. And that would be, so that's, what is it? 16 plus 7 is
23.
23. Yeah.
Woo. All right. I'm gonna roll counter persuasion on his side, but I'll have to roll very high to do it. No. And he's like 25%. That's nice. And he waves one of his attendants over. As he does this, Skataki and we're gonna go stars engaged at this point. Skataki and Krav, because of what you sort of are sensing with the evil. Both of you roll perception.
After that, I'd like to shoot a message to Krav, I think, actually.
Okay.
Oh, don't we have a couple wild magic rolls to do too?
We will. After this message, I'll have you roll both.
I rolled 14.
14 on perception for Krav. What about Skataki? Oh, we've got it. Okay. Krav, you now notice, and Skataki will say that you can notice this too, even though it's only an 11. Now it's just you all and the commander. It's just you, Bad Dickie, Bobby, and the commander in the tent. And
it's so much worse than the sum of its parts.
You're messaging Krav. What do you message? And then we'll have you do 2 wild magics.
Yep. So she messages, Krav, they don't want to move this thing anywhere safe. They want to move it here for something. We shouldn't be working with them.
I agree. And as I am...
He said it aloud to himself.
No,
like, you
ask you to talk back.
Message. Let me check. Yeah. I think message. If you're messaging a person, I think you can talk back with message. But let me confirm that.
Yeah, the target only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Yeah.
So yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Although I would have loved it if Krav. I don't think we should.
As I say that, I'm going to be. As I say that, I'm going to slowly slink toward the exit of the tent and look around.
Leave me here.
I'm gonna have so I'm now gonna have patience. You need to roll 2 wild magic rolls. First one.
4.
We're not there on that one yet.
And a 6.
Oh, you're close. Now it is a 5 and under. It's good you rolled them in that order. That would have done it. So it's a 5 and under. That was a good order to roll a 4 and a 6 on this thing. It would have been so great if you rolled like a wild magic surge and did that fireball one that just auto cast and then just set off everything. And so, Krav, before we continue with the conversation, since you're slinking out, this won't be exactly in sequential time, but since you're slinking out, roll perception when you look out the side of things.
21.
With the 21, you notice that it's not like they're waiting out for you in ambush, but what you do notice is weird is when you walked into the tent, everybody was kind of sitting around and everything. There were different groups. Now you notice all of the commanders have like small units with them that are all kind of like standing in rank and file. They're not like near the tent. They're not even between the tent and the exit, but they are all there, and they're all doing like drills at that point, and so they're like there's 5 of them. There's 5 units of roughly what's 5 times what number I'm gonna look about, roughly 15 to 16 people, and they're all on they're about 15 people each, and they're all doing like drills in file. The crossbowmen are doing like those fun little like weapon stand drills that people do with rifles, and then
but it doesn't look like they're doing anything malicious or waiting.
You do not, with that perception, they are not looking at the tents or judging it, but they are all definitely in that situation. And with the 21 perception, you see that there are still 2 people up in the towers toward the entrance by the ballista, but they're not at the ballista or anything. It's not like they're turned in. So you see that it's not like there's an ambush or anything out for you yet. You also see that there are only 1 other tent has guards in front of it, and there are 4 guards standing in front of the tent directly as you're looking out from the tents. It's to your left. It's a tent about the same size as there, and they're just standing there. But they are the only 4 guards posted on any other tent.
Is Detect Magic still on? 10 minutes.
It's been more than 10 minutes since you cast it.
Okay.
It also only works within 30 feet. Is there a Kenku near me?
Yeah, there's one near you that's hanging out to kind of be on hand for the commander.
I'm gonna walk over to him and nod toward that tent. What's in there?
Nothing you need to worry about, buddy. That's
yeah.
It's a weird question to just ask.
Nobody needs to worry about anything, but maybe you can tell me what's in there, and I'm going to cast command.
Oh, what's that saying? What's that saying?
Yeah.
I will get back
13.
Oh, natural 5 again.
Yes.
And he's like, and he goes, well, you seem like a good guy, I guess. Why would you give a fuck? It is it's the I mean, we all just call it the obelisk. It has some fancy name. It's a controlling device. It's an obelisk controlling device. We killed a lot of people to get to it. But we got it. And we gotta guard it because it's very valuable and we need it very soon.
Of course, that sounds fascinating. What does it command or control?
Well, it can control whatever kind of beast you put under the control of it. I mean, you have to have a pretty good caster to control it. But
of course.
What? Yeah, you just
of course.
You just control. So you could control like a giant. You could control like a dragon, I guess, with it, or like a thing. I think we're gonna use it. I think the boss wants to use it to control the monster we're gonna get in the camp.
Sure.
Oh, I mean, why wouldn't you want to control the monster?
Well, yeah. Otherwise, it's just eating a bunch of.
What kind of monster is that?
It's the one that I don't know what it is. It's some sort of like demonic worm beast thing that's gonna summon out from the ground, and we're just gonna transform it here.
I heard about that one.
Yeah.
Demonic worm. Of course.
Hey,
that's what it's.
Are you doing anything right now? You want to go get a drink? Like, you seem
I got
like
sarsaparillas if you're thirsty.
One question, friend.
Yeah.
Do you have a bowl of meat?
Oh, we don't like to admit this, but we are carry-on eaters. Let's go get some meat. I'll go get you some meat. Hold on.
Hell
He
yeah.
goes.
Let's go get meat.
Oh boy.
He goes.
Oh man,
That's how you do it.
That was delightful.
what a great play!
Well, that happens outside, and we're not going to conclude that this thing because we're getting close to the end of the session. On the inside with the commander, who's taken note of Krob's leaving, but not really worried about it because, like, what's going to happen is one of his guards going to spill the beans. That would be crazy. I mean,
I can still hear you. I'm just stepping off screen.
And everything. He sits there. And he sits there, and it's like 25%. That's a very reasonable number. You know what? I like it. I heard about what you did with the lawless bandits, and I am more than interested to see what you can do here. So I believe with your university connections, Miss Pratt, as well as with the collection here, you all can do it. It's only a shame that we couldn't get our hands on Mr. Goodhammer before his untimely demise, because we were just gonna conscribe him into service for us. But it seems like you all let him go. It seems like he is sitting right before us, disguised as another person.
Does he say that?
Yeah, because you let the people go that were there
at this
the
point,
entire time, so he's known about Goodhammer this whole time and just not played his cards.
At this point, I transform
son of a bitch
from the Raven person into a Coyote person and say, all right, if it was the illusory magic, it was just me. Sorry.
Well, no, you had your illusionary magic, but my now they're no longer hummingbirds, but my hummingbird friends told me that you let Goodhammer out of the cell we had him locked up in because we were going to pursue him in this thing, and then had him transform into Bad Dickie, I believe is his name, Bad Dickie, and Goodhammer just does that like douchey, like he's like leaning back in his chair and he's like, "What's up?"
Hawaiian shirt and all.
Hawaiian shirt, puka shell collar, just like does like the kiss face for no apparent reason.
Jordan's family.
So he just he goes there and he's like, honestly, I'm impressed, and I'm glad you didn't tell me, because then you'd be suckers. As long as this guy's helping you, I don't see that there should be too much of a problem for it. He seems like the type that would absolutely be able to help out. I mean, the only other person we could think that would help out with this kind of magic is an elven mage in town that's recently had some bad luck. His name's, and he looks through some notes, his name's Lisley Clanthian. He owns a Bits and Baubles curio shop in town that recently got destroyed.
Oh god damn it.
So he's the one who studies dimensional magic.
I think at this point we're good.
Do you know where we can find him?
Yeah.
The amount of chill that is on patient's face is negative. It's negative.
and Barry
like,
is just
I know
Barry
where
is like straight up lounge slouching in his chair. He's just like scratching his belly.
Yeah, so he's in town. He's staying, I think, in his house in town, currently arguing with the local law enforcement about why his shop was destroyed. We approached him, but he came off racist, weirdly enough. Just super racist. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Yeah. At first he said, no, I'm not being racist, but your type, like not to, he said that thing where you say not to be racist, but you know that they're going to say something racist. Like, he
does like to say your type.
But yeah, that's who we were thinking. But if Mr. Goodhammer can help you out, or Bad Dickie can help you out there, then we're more than fine with that. So 25%. Do you think it's fair?
I think that's fair.
All right. Well,
I think it's time we got out of here.
Yep, absolutely. Well, you have fine time. We will send a messenger to you the day before, the day of the night of the thing, with sort of our plans. We can coordinate through messenger then. We will be sending them in non-Kanku form, of course, during the day, because, of course, we're not allowed, or they'll just kind of appear from the shadows. But, and if you could refrain from killing any of our people between now and then, that would be appreciated.
I just wanted to be known your men drew first.
Well, yeah, of course they did. I ordered them to. I ordered them if they were.
And if they draw again, they'll die again.
Well, yeah, that would of course make sense too. They won't. Now I will order them not to kill you, or even attack you. So you should be fine.
You mentioned earlier telling the Magister that we were working with you.
Yeah, I can send him a message on that.
No, why don't we not do that instead?
don't trust your own town leader?
I just, with my ties for the school, I don't want us to seem,
compromised.
Mercenary work is not something that I traditionally do, and so I would not like it to get out that the school is providing mercenaries.
Okay, well, it doesn't ruffle my feathers either way. That's a Kenku reference there for you. You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. We will be more than happy not to do that. So, we'll keep this between us. And we'll send you, we'll send you a message, and then we'll settle up, of course, the morning after when we receive our payment. We'll settle up, and we can either transfer it to you, or we can have them transfer it to you at that time, kind of keep it under wraps. This all seems
excellent.
Very good. And everything. He's like, one last thing. Afterwards, regardless of what happens, if things go sideways, would we have your enlistment of help of dealing with that sideways problem?
If it means protecting the town, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this has been productive. This is much better than killing each other, or rather, you killing my men who are grossly underabled to do any kind of significant damage to you. So, excellent. I'll let you. I'll have one of my people see you all out. And then the guy with the glasses appears again. He's like, yes, Mr. Goodhammer the commander is more than happy to have made these sorts of arrangements. I'm glad it's productive. I will be taking notes down about all of your things. If there's nothing else, I will see you out.
Is Krav still near the tent, or did Krav go off to get?
Krav,
like
did you
outside?
would you have kept the guy there, or would you have gone off to kind of one of the side tents to kind of sit down and eat meat with him? You're muted.
I would have stayed outside the tent.
Okay,
or at least had an opportunity to let somebody know where I was going.
Yeah, we'll say that you're outside the tent, and he and you are just kind of holding small bowls of dead meat, just eating it out of the bowl.
This is not live meat. Christ.
I'm going to ask,
as opposed to live meat.
I'm going to ask Krav if anything important was found out, but I'm going to ask him in his language.
In Draconic?
Yeah.
All right, so...
anything important?
I also speak Draconic.
Yeah.
Between bites of the bowl of meat, I'm going to... yes, and we can talk later.
That works.
And so... unless there's anything else for any of you to do inside the camp, you all exit the camp without molestation or impediment. Nobody is like trailing you or threatening you. Right before you go, the guy that Krav was eating meat with is like, hey, if you want to, if you're looking for employment, like, it's mercenary work. It's not the greatest, but we've already heard rumors about what you've done. And he's specifically talking to Krav. I just think it'd be real cool to kind of add some variety to the staff here. A little bit of multiculturalism, if you will, different minds and whatnot. I'm just saying, you seem like a cool guy that can kill a lot of dudes, and it's not so bad.
I am.
He's like, all right.
I'm gonna hold out my hand and go, there's good honor in mercenary work. And give him, nice handshake.
And he gives you a nice strong handshake and waves by and closes the door and closes the doors after you all exit. You're on outside of the Kenku camp. And again, nobody's on the ballistas. I'm not secret DM trapping you, or anything like that. And you're outside, and I assume walking back toward Water's Wealth, and everything. And nobody, no one is following you. Your passive perception is good enough that you can see no one's following you in this kind of flat desert, anything like that.
They want that thing there. So that means they have something to either hold it or do something to it. Why would they want that monster?
I figured they were trying to use that thing to control it so that they could...
You don't know about that.
Yeah, only Cravar.
Oh.
Do you relay to them? What
Yeah,
you've
I mean,
learned?
are we far enough?
Yeah,
from
you're
the
far enough
encampment?
away.
All right. I found out some things. Number one, the only other tent there was only one other tent that had guards. And inside that tent is some kind of obelisk that they're using to mind control creatures. So I asked them, what creatures are you mind controlling? And they said, it's a monster, demon, worm type thing.
They just told you?
I have a way with people.
You do have a way with people.
Shoot. Well, that explains why they want to get it there.
Explains why they wanted to cast her too.
Which means... I was thinking, I think the only person I can think of who would be able to help us with the planar magic is going to be Lisley Claythian. He was a student of the school previously. It all made sense.
How's Trapper blew up?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I can mask up full time if we need.
As you all approach the city, back into Water's Wealth, right at about where the clock tower, so you pass Caspi Farm, right at about where the clock tower is, you see a gentleman. You see a kind of a cart pull up, like a wagon cart pull up, and the wagon cart has the flag of Odai on it, and the local flag on the sides, like big banner flags on the sides of the over canvas of the wagon, on the sides of it. And it has the local flag of Water's Wealth, the flag of Odai, and everything. Beside it are 3 people on horseback on either side, so 6 total, and 2 people at the cart, 1 driver and another gentleman that is a small halfling. And when I say small halfling, I mean they are small for a halfling. So they're only about 2.5 feet tall. And they hop down, they pop out a top hat, they place it on their head and everything. They get out the smallest, most adorable cane that's obviously for aesthetics because they're not using it to walk. They're using it more to like hold, to flourish and everything.
As a baton.
They straighten their waistcoat, tuxedo jacket, clean their monocle, place it back on their head, and walk up to you finally. Skitaki and Patience, you know who this is. Out there, trailing this person is an assistant. The assistant is a young woman, dressed in a very formal, very, very sharply cut, perfectly tailored dress, and with her hair tied back. And the assistant speaks first and simply gestures down and says very kindly, "Hello, Miss Pratt, Mr. Scotto. The Magister would like to have a word with you in regards to the actions happening in recent days around Water's Wealth." And so at that time, you have been approached by the Magister. We end this session. The Magister is is the little halfling and has not spoken yet. But you are now at the end of tonight's adventure. So, yay! Thank God.
Yeah.
That was the Magister is what I had planned for this entire day. So we'll just do it next week. But I'd like to thank my posse for getting involved more deeply with the Kanku and beginning to further discover different pieces of this plot. And I'd like to thank everyone watching Twitch or later watching on YouTube. This has been Dying of Exposure's Through the Mill live play, actual play D&D campaign. Thank you very much, Posse. Make sure to like and subscribe. Catch us 7:30 p.m. Pacific time every Tuesday, except for next Tuesday, where Patience's player Camille has just basically said, "Fuck you! I can't put up with you for 2 weeks in a row. Not in June.
I need vacation.
Not in June."
Vacation so bad.
Yeah, we all do. No, but we will be back next Tuesday, so we will see you then. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, follow, all that social media shit. You have a good day.